Hi everyone, so welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to study how to resolve any pattern using Java. Basically, what is a pattern? Pattern is nothing but it is a 2D structure. So I have a few questions with me, right? So let's get into that. Okay, so basically, I can split any pattern into two different parts. What's the first part? So I have a multiple lines over here. You can see I have a x-axis and I have a y-axis. All right, so I have a multiple lines over here. So these are the lines I have 1 2 3 4 5. This many lines are over here. And what is the next part? The detailing of each line. Okay, in this first line I have 1 star, in the second line I have 2 star, and so on. Okay, so in order to solve this I am using a for loop. Okay, so I need two for loops in order to solve this problem. Okay, so let me assume this is the ith loop. Okay, this is the ith loop, and the y-axis is my ith loop and x-axis is my jth loop. All right, so in ith loop will run from 1 to 5. So I can say 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, I can run from 1 to 5, but in the detailing will be different. Okay, jth loop only need to run in the first line. It only need to run till 1, but here in till 2, so till 3. Okay, it is dynamic, so I will find out a relationship between them. Okay, so basically in order to solve this simple problem you can implement your own logic. There are different ways to resolve this problem, but I am following a general uh, idea in order to solve all the problem. Even if you are getting a complex problem also, using this concept or using this method you can solve that as well. Okay, so basically I'm taking a string. Okay, so I have a string with me in the initial stage. Let me give name str. It is an empty string. Okay, so what I will do, I need to travel through my entire line. For that I am using a for loop. Okay, so I have a for loop starting I equal to 1 to I less than or equal to, here I have a 5 lines. In order I need to print 5 lines, so I less than or equal to 5 I plus plus. Okay, for the detailing I have a jth loop. Okay, so inside it is a nested loop, so I have another for loop here. J, obviously it is starting from 1, right? But it is different for different lines, so I can start from 1, but I don't know the condition and j plus plus. So I need to find out this one, right? So did you got the idea? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I will find out the relation between I and j. Okay, so how can I find that? Basically, in order to find that, okay, in order to find the relation between I and j, what I'm going to do, okay, so let me take this I value over here, I and j. Okay, so I value is 1 2 3 4 5. What will be the j value? J value means the detailing of that. So when I start from 1, how many stars I going to print? Only 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, 5 here. Okay, so it is very simple. Basically you can see that whenever a I value is 1, the j value is also same, means the last j value. Okay, j final. Okay, so it will j value starting from 1. So whenever I value is 2, j is starting from 1 and ending at 2. Okay, this is the similar case. So I can simply write j is always less than or equal to I. Is it correct? Yeah. So it is my just I am find out the relation. So what if the relation is different? If you are not able to find out that easily, what we can do? We have, you can see it is basically a straight line from this to till here, right? Yeah, here is a straight line. So you need to find how the relation between that I and j. So it is a straight line, so I can use y equal to mx plus c. What is this? This is the equation of a straight line. Okay, so I'm just finding the relation between I and j. So there, here y is j and x is I. So and what is a slope? M is actually slope. Okay, and c is a constant. C is a constant, right? So in this equation, what is m? What is actually slope? Whenever there is a change in y, okay, the change happening in j, okay, corresponding a unit change in the I. Okay, so here there is a unit change happening. One is actually increasing to 2. One is actually increasing to 2. At this, there is the difference is 1. So for a one unit change, how many unit j is changing? Here you can see that one is actually j is also increasing 1 to 2. So the change is actually 1 unit. So for a 1 unit change, how much change happening in the j? That is actually slope. So here you can see it is just 1. For any unit change in the I, there will be a 1 unit change in the j. So m is 1. So I already knew. Okay, so I need to find out the c constant. Okay, in order to find a constant, I can take any value, any combination of value in this table, either this one, either this or this. I can take any value and I can find my c. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, let me take this example, 4 and 4. So y is 4, y mean j is 4, m is 1, I already knew, and x is also, what is x? X is also 4 plus c. Even if I simplify this equation, what I will get? C equal to 0. Okay, so here you can see I can find the relation between, from this equation I can find the relation between y and j. Y is actually j equal to m is 1 into x is I plus c equal to 0. Okay, so is equal to, you can see j equal to I, so I can write j is less than or equal to I. Okay, did you got the idea? So this the one we already find out, but if you want to use a formula or generalized method, you can use this. Okay, we will use this in the coming problem as well, so you will get a better idea. Okay, so what will be the approach? So we will start from a string is empty, and we will run a for loop in order to travel through entire line from 1 to 5. I loop in each I loop, in each value of I. Okay, if I is 1, I is 2, I is 3, I is 4. Okay, and also I is 5. Okay, this is actually just to travel through each line. Once I am in the first line, I have j less than or equal to, what's our condition? J is less than or equal to I. So here j less than or equal to 1, j is less than or equal to 2, j is less than or equal to 3, j is less than or equal to 4, and similar way. Okay, so j is actually starting from 1, j is 1. Okay, j is 1, j is 1, similarly j is 1, j is 1. Okay, so starting from 1, and condition is there less than or equal to, so there will be 1 star, so it will add to this string. So if initially the string is empty, it will add to string plus equal to, I will add a star. Okay, so and after that, so the first line is completed, so I will simply print this one in my console. I will print this in my console, and I will make this string empty again. Okay, so and after that I will came to the second line. Over here you can see j is starting from 1, j travel till 2. Okay, from 1 to 2 there is a 2, so it will add string plus equal to, firstly it will add one string, then in the second iteration it will add another string. Okay, and after, so the second line is also complete, it will go and it will print 2 star in our console, and after that it will become empty again. So it will come over here in the third line, it will print 3 stars, and here it will print 4 stars. Okay, and the last line it will print 5 star basically. Okay, so you will get the answer. Okay, so let's get into the coding part. So I have a Java file, so public class pattern and public static void main, and after that let me create my first for loop. Int I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5. We have 5 lines to print, I plus plus. Inside this for loop, let me initiate my string str equal to, it is right now it is empty, and here it is my nested loop in j equal to 1, j less than or equal to I. We have found that relation j plus plus, and I need to add string, I need to add a single star over there. After that I can print that one, right? So yeah, it is done. So let me run. You can see the pattern is printed over here, right? So here you can see the pattern. Okay, so what's the next question? It is exactly reverse of the earlier one. Okay, so I have a I loop over here and j loop over here, j loop over here. Okay, so my I value is over I value is over here and j value will be here. Okay, so I is 1, the first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line. So how many stars I want to print here? I want to print 5 here, 4, 3, 2, 1. So what's the relation between them? You can find out you can find the relation. So here, what's the relation between I and j? Okay, you can easily find out. You don't want any equation for that. You can see that when it is 1, it is 5. When it's 2, it is 4. It is actually decreasing. So uh, just think about that. So you can see uh, j is basically less than or equal to 6 minus I. Am I right? So you can see when I is 1, j is actually 6 minus 1. J less than or equal to 5, j less than or equal to 6 minus 2, 4. 6 minus 3 3, 6 minus 4 2, 6 minus 5 1, right? So how can we find out this basically? So let me find out using formula. The formula is y equal to mx plus c. So what is m? For m as well, there is a formula. It is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So basically, one unit change in x, how much change happening in the y. Okay, so here y is j and x is I. So if I want to use, basically it's not needed because you can see that here one unit change is happening over here in the ith section. One is changing to 2, so 5 is changing to 4 because it is decreasing by 1. So obviously m is actually minus 1. But if you want to use formula m equal to, let me take these two examples. Okay, let me take these two examples. You can see my y2 is here, y1 is here, it is y2, it is y1, uh, it is x2, it is x1. Okay, so you can see y2 is 3, 3 minus 4 divided by 3 minus 2. What it will be? 3 minus 4 is minus 1, 3 minus 2 is 1, so equal to minus 1. So we already got this one. Okay, so it is not necessary do this. You can easily find out the slope anyway. Okay, so anyway, get back to our equation y equal to mx plus c. So y is, so let me take another example in order to get the value of c. So I am taking this 4 and 2. So y is actually 2. 2 equal to minus 1 into x is 4 plus c. So while you simplify this equation, you can see that c equal to 6. Okay, so y is actually j. J equal to minus 1 into x is I and c is 6. So j equal to 6 minus I. So what I can write? J is less than or equal to 6 minus I. We already got this earlier time, right? So if you want to use this equation, basically in this type of questions we can easily find out the relation, but in the complex question it will be difficult. So that's why I'm following same method in order to solve the simple problems as well. Okay, so here what the catch? So let me minimize all these things. Okay, okay, all right. So here what you can do, you can start a for loop. It should be I from 1 to I less than or equal to 5 because we have a 5 lines to print I plus plus, and there will be a I can start a string. So string str, I can make it a blank string over here. Then I can start a j loop, j equal to 1, j less than or equal to 6 minus I, j plus plus. So inside this one I can add str plus equal to a star, right? So whenever I add a star and after this loop I can console this, I can print system.println. I can print this one, and after that when it's came to the next loop, when I will increase to 2, at that point of time the string again become empty and it will go through the j loop, then it will print that one. So let's get into the coding part. So here let me write my first loop. It is pretty similar to the earlier one. I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5. I want to print 5 lines. So I plus plus. So and my string is empty first, and after that I'm writing my nested j loop, j equal to 1, j less than or equal to, what's the relation? You can see it is j less than or equal to 6 minus I, right? So 6 minus I, j plus plus, string should be mm, with a single star. Either you can write like this, str equal to str plus star, otherwise which is the easiest method, like right now it is both the same. Okay, so once you did that, you can actually print that one. Fine. Right, so let me run this code. You can see that in the first line it is 5 lines, in 4 lines 3 2 1. Okay, how to solve this problem? This is little bit tricky, right? So it is not following a particular pattern. It doesn't have a proper straight line, because there is a straight line over here and also there is a straight line over here, and there is some pattern over here. Okay, so let's break into different part. So you can see there is a y-axis over here. Mm, there is a y-axis over here, and there is x-axis over here. It is our j, and it is our I. So in the first line, when I have I, j, in the first line 1 2 3 4 5, what happening, I'm printing. You can actually split into different parts. Basically, you can see there is a one part over here, this triangle, and there is some certain spaces, and another exactly similar triangle, exactly the copy of first triangle is also placed over here. Even if you want, you can see this is the first part and this is the second part. Okay, in between there is another part, that is that empty spaces. All right, so in order to understand what I'm going to do, let me, instead of giving just space, I'm drawing some circle. Here it is 4 spaces, here it is 3 spaces, here it is 2, and here is only single spaces. Okay, so for each I loop there is a three things are happening over here. In the, if I value is 1, if I value is 1, then it is actually printing 1 star, then 4 spaces, and again 1 star. Here 2 star, then 3 spaces, 2 star. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give j1, j2, j3. All right, so for the first, for I equal to on, for the first line, how many star I am printing right now? 1 star, then 4 spaces, then 1 star. Here 2 star, 3 spaces, 2 star. Here 3 stars, 2 spaces, 3 star. 4 star, 1 space, 4 star. 5 star, 0 space, 5 star. Fine. So how can we build a relation between them? So it is similar to the earlier one. Okay, so let me minimize these things. Okay, I have this many relationship, and the j1, j1, j2, j3. So what's the relation of j1? You can see j is, so whenever value of I is 1, then j is 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So it is simply j less than or equal to I. Here also j is less than or equal to I. You can see where if it is 1, it is 1, if it is 2, 2. What about this one, j2? Whenever 1, then it is 4, 2 it is 3. Basically you can find by just looking into this, because it is 5 minus I, right? So if it is I is 1, then j is 5 minus 1 4. If it is 2, 5 minus 2 3, 5 minus 3 2, 5 minus 4 1, 5 minus 5 0, right? So I can simply write j less than or equal to 5 minus I. Okay, so if you couldn't find by just looking into that, what we can do, we can use that y equal to mx plus c. Let me minimize this as well. Okay, so y equal to mx plus c. You can actually simply find out that I'm not going to do that. If you want, you can use m. You can take two examples and use y m equal to y2 minus y1 and x2 minus y1. Instead of y2 minus y1, you need to give j2 minus y1. Here you can take these two examples. So it will be 3 minus 4 by 2 minus 1. So you will get a minus 1. So basically, how can you easily find out? Whenever there is an increase in the value of I by 1, I is increasing from 1 to 2, there is a change of 1. So what's the change in the j2? It is actually decreased by 1, so the slope will be m equal to minus 1, right? So I can write, let me take an example. So I am taking examples of this and this. You can take any example. Okay, so the x will be 3 and y will be 2. So let me 2 equal to minus 1 into 3 plus c. So minus 3 go into left side, so c become 5. So what I can write, y is actually j equal to minus 1 into I plus 5. So I can write j equal to 5 minus I. So this is the equation I already find out, right? So if you want, you can do like this. Okay, otherwise if you find that easily by just looking, you can just take the relationship. All right, so here we find out that relationship as well. So let me delete this as well. So how can you write after this? So you will have a for loop, I loop. I is actually starting from 1 and I less than or equal to 5 because you want to print 5 line. I plus plus. Then there will be 3 j loop, 4 j equal to 1. J is less than or equal to this one. J is less than or equal to I. J plus plus. Here what you will do? You will add string plus equal to you will add a single star. There will be another for loop, j equal to 1. Here j is less than or equal to 5 minus I. J plus plus. Here what you will do, you will plus equal to, you will not add anything, you will just add a space only. What you will do here, j is equal to 1, j is less than or equal to I, this condition. J plus plus, what you will do, you will string plus equal to again 1 star. So what will happen when you come to the first line, in the first line, first it will go to this loop and it will add that 1 star to string, then it will add 4 space to string, then it will add 1 string to space, then it will go and print. Okay, so it will come back over here and the string become empty again, and after that it will get 2 star, 3 space, 2 star, then it will print in the console. So similarly all these things will happen, you will get this pattern. So let's get into the coding. So let me create a file first, uh, pattern3.java. Fine. Okay, so here we want to print 5 line here as well. So let me run my first loop for int I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5, I plus plus, and my string str equal to empty first. And after that I want to run another for loop, nested for. How many loop we needed here? We needed 3 loops. Okay, so let me write my first loop, int j equal to 1, j less than or equal, in the first loop what's the condition, j less than or equal to I, right? So less than or equal to I, j plus plus. Here I want to add a single star, and the next j loop for int j equal to 1, j less than or equal to, what's the next condition? It is j 5 minus I, right? 5 minus I, j plus plus. Here I just want to add a space, so str assigned, just a space. What about the another j3, int j equal to 1, it's also starting from 1, equal to, it is exactly similar to the first one, so basically you can copy paste that one. So I, right, j less than or equal to I, j plus plus. Here also you can add star plus equal to symbol star. So here you can console that one. Fine, so let me run this code. You can see this code, right? So it's sorted. So how can we solve this problem? We can solve this problem by following the same method. So I have a y-axis and I have a x-axis with me. So this is my I, this is my j, right? So I have I and j. So here you can see I have, basically I have 10 lines to print, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. And how many stars I need to print in the first line? 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we couldn't find a proper straight line over here in this pattern. We have a 2 straight line. One is here, one is here. So actually we can split this into 2 part. Okay. So what is this? So I is starting from 1 until 5. So I is less than or equal to 5. There is a one if condition. If I is less than or equal to 5, What about this? This is else. That means I is greater than 5. Okay, so I am just splitting this into two parts. So here we can, in the first part you can find a pattern. So whenever I is increasing 1 2 3 4 5, j is decreasing by 1. So j will be j less than or equal to, you can simply find out it is 6 minus I, right? So when I is 1, it will be j less than or equal to 5 minus I. 5 minus 1, it is j less than or equal to 5. Similarly for 2, it will be 6 minus 2. For 3, it will be 6 minus 3, and so on. Okay, if you want, you can use y equal to mx plus c as well. So if the m is actually minus 1 over here, so if you put some value, so let me take this to value, y is 2, m is minus 1 into x is 4 plus c. So you will get c equal to 6. So if you go back to your equation, y equal to, let me, instead of y, let me use j. J equal to m is minus 1 into I plus c. You will get j less than or equal to 6 minus I. Okay, this is our relation. And for here, you can simply write j is less than or equal to, here, when I is 6, it is 1, I is 7, it is 2. So it is simply I minus 5, right? J less than or equal to I minus 5. When I is 9, 9 minus, when I is 9, 9 minus 5 equal to 4, 10 minus 5 equal to 5. Okay, it is also you can find by mx plus c. Okay, here slope is 1, because it is actually, whenever there is a change of 1 unit in the I value, there will be 1 unit change in the j value as well. So the slope will be m equal to 1. So you can put some value by taking any example of this, and you can find the c as well. So c will be 5 minus 5, so you can find I, j less than or equal to I minus 5. Okay, so how can we code this problem? Let me create a file first. Pattern 4 dot java public static void main. Fine. So here I want to run my for loop from 1 to 10, because I have 10 lines to print. I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus, string str equal to str assign blank. Str is actually blank first. So I have two different pattern is here. For I from 1 to 5, there is one pattern. For else condition, there is another pattern. So I am using a if else here. If I less than or equal to 5, there is a certain thing I want to do. There is a else, so I want to do, create an entirely different pattern. Okay, for I less than or equal to 5, what I want to do, I want to run a j loop int j assign 1 from j less than or equal to, what's the condition over here, 6 minus I, right? 6 minus I, j plus plus. What I want to do, I want to add a star, right? Yeah. So what about the else condition? In the else condition, I have a for loop. Yeah, so there, what's my condition? J start from I 1, then j less than or equal to I minus 5. Okay, so j plus plus. So here also I want to add a star, right? So after this condition, I can print, right? So I can print my star. So it will, while it's running through entire loop, what will happen, it will console the required pattern. So let me run this code. You are getting, in the first line it is 5 star, then 4 3 2 1 1, then again the exactly reverse of the top one. Okay, so let's solve this problem. Here it is also a little bit tricky problem. Here you can see, anyway we can follow the same method that we are following till now. I have a y-axis and x-axis, so it is my I value and it is my j value. Okay, so there is a one more catch. Actually there is some space in between that. So here you can see, uh, here there is a space. So compared to this one, I think this space is actually 4 times, right? So 1 2 3 4, but here is just 2, but here is one space over here. Okay, so what about here? It compared to this one, it is 2 space. I think there is no space over here. I can give 2 space over here. What about here? uh, I think it is exactly similar to this one, so it is also 2 space. And what about this one? It has 1 space, 2 space, 1 space, and here there is a 4 space. Okay, so in the each line there is a certain pattern over here. When I take, okay, let me do in our own way. J 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, we have to print 6 lines here. And okay, so what about the j case? I need to print what I need to print anyway. I need to print x. Basically this is the complex line here, or this one. There is a space, then x, then space, then x, then spaces. Okay, so how many j variable we needed? 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so let me take j1, j2, j3, j4, j5. Okay, so here the first one is for that space, then here it is for x, then it is for space, then it is for x, then it is for space. Okay, so what will be the in the first line? Is there any space in the first? No, so it is 0. Then how many x? 1x. Then how many spaces? 4. Then 1x, then no space. What about here? 1 space, 1 x, 2 space, 1x, 1 space. What about here? 2 space, 1x, 0 space, 1x, 2 space, right? So what about here? 2 space, 1 0 1 2, right? What about here? 1 1x, 2 space, 1x, 1. What about here? 0 1 4 space, 1 and 0. Okay, so we need to find all the relation. So let me minimize this one. Okay, so here it is j1, j2, j3, j4, j5. What about the j1? Whenever I value is 1 2 3, increasing from 1 2 3 and 6, it is also 0 1 2. Okay, basically there is a pattern till here only, right? So it is exactly reverse of this, right? So I have a I value less than if I value is less than or equal to 3, and there is else condition. If okay, so let me divide this as well. So let me divide this well. Okay, so what about this? When I value is increasing from 1 to 3, then it is actually increasing from 0 1 2. Okay, but there is a we can give j less than or equal to I, because j is exactly less than or equal to I minus 1, right? You can see when it's 1, it is 1 minus 1 0, and it is 2 minus 1 3 minus 1. If you want, you can use y is equal to mx plus c as well. Okay, I'm not going to use, we already did for earlier problem. So what about the j2? J2 is actually constant, it is not dependent upon I. Whatever the value of I, j2 is always 1. Okay, so how can I write j is less than or equal to 1? Fine, j is starting from 1, so it will print 1x. That's all in all lines. What about the j3? 4 2 0. Okay, so we can, it is also easily findable, but anyway I'm using y equal to mx plus c. So here in the j3, look in here, look here, it is actually increasing by 2. For whenever there is a one change in the I value, whenever I value is increased by 1, j value is decreased by 2, so m will be minus 2. So how can you find out? By using a formula, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So let me take example. I am taking this 4 and 2 corresponding to 1 and 2. Okay, so my y2 is equal to 2, so it is 2 minus 4 divided by 2 minus 1. So 2 minus 4 is minus 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, so I will get m equal to minus 2. So okay, so I'm getting m equal to minus 2. So let me take some example. Let me take this example as well, the second example, 2 and 2. Okay, so y and x is equal to 2, so 2 equal to minus 2 into 2 plus c. So what will be the c? C equal to minus 4. If it's came to left hand side, c become 4 plus 2, it will become 6. So y means j equal to minus 2 into I, plus c means plus 6. So j equal to 6 minus 2i. Let me check. So when if it is I equal to 1, so j will become 6 minus 2 4. You can see it is 4. 6 minus 4, it is 2. 6 minus 6, it is 0. Okay, so it is correct. So I can write j is less than or equal to 6 minus 2i. Got it? So we find that as well. So what about the J4? Um, what about the J4? Here it is constant, so I can write J less than or equal to 1. What about the J5? J5 is exactly similar to the J1, so I can write J less than or equal to I minus 1. So I have done for my if condition. So what about the else condition? Let me do that as well. It is actually for that if condition. So what about the else condition? Else condition J1 become here the first 2 1 0, right? So whenever the I value is 4, it is 2, for 5 it is 1, for 6 it is 0. So how can I do? Y equal to mx plus c. What's m? So whenever there is a increase of 1 in the x value, there is a decrease in the value of y. So my m is actually minus 1. So let me take the first example. So y is equal to 2, m is minus 1, x is 4 plus c. So c will become 6. So j equal to minus 1 into I plus 6. So j less than or equal to 6 minus I, right? So j is less than or equal to 6 minus I for else condition. So what about j2? J2 you can, it is constant, so like I can write j less than or equal to 1. So it is also 0 to 4. It's exactly inverse of the earlier one. So let me do that as well. Y equal to mx plus c. Here it is increasing, so m is 2. For a single change in the x value, there is a double change in the y value. Okay, 0 become 2, 4 become 5. Okay, so m is 2. So let me take the second value. Okay, so here it is 5, then it is 2, right? 2 equal to 2 into x is 5 plus c. So c will become minus 8. So j equal to 2 into I minus 8. Okay, so it is j less than or equal to 2I minus 8. You can check basically. If it is 4, then 2 into 8, 8 minus 0. If it is 5, 2 into 5, 10, 10 minus 8, 2. Okay, so it's also correct. What about here? Here it's also constant, so j less than or equal to 1. What about here? 2, 1, 0. Okay, here let me do this. If you can find that by just looking into that, it's fine. You can just go on with that one. If you are not able to do that, you can use this formula mx plus c. So what's m over here? Whenever there is a increasing the value of x, there is a decrement of y. So 2 become 1, 1 becomes 0. So m will be minus 1. Okay, so what will be the c? So let me take the first example, 4 and 2. So 2 equal to minus 1 into 4 plus c. So the c becomes 6. So j equal to minus 1 into I and plus 6. So j become 6 minus I. Okay, so j is less than or equal to 6 minus I. It is exactly similar to the first one. Okay, so we can write 6 minus I. Okay, this is the condition. So how can we code with this condition? Let's get into the coding part. Let me create a file first. It's pattern 5, right? Java. Fine. Public static void main. So here, let me create first for loop. So we have how many lines we need to print? There is 6 lines. So let me write my outer for loop. I assign 1, I run till 6, I plus plus, and after that I have a if condition, I is less than or equal to 3, and there is else condition as well, right? So what about the inside the if condition? How many for loops I want to create? I want to create 5 for loops, right? So let me do that as well. So mm, int j assign 1, j less than or equal to, the first condition is I minus 1, right? You can see all the condition over here on the right side. These are the if condition, these are the else condition. Okay, so I'll j plus plus. So first condition, before that I just want to create a string as well. So string str assigned empty initially, and in the first for j loop, I can add a space, right? I will add a space. What about the second one? Let me copy. I need a 5 j loop. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. What about the second condition? It will start from the j1 and it will run until 1. and it will add a x value. What about the third one? It will run until 6 minus 2i, right? 6 minus 2i, 2i, 2 into I. You need to explicitly given this multiplication. 2i will not work, 2 into I. And here also it is a space. And what about the fourth condition? It is also, it is just till I, it is just a space. No, it is not a space, it is a x. And the last condition is I minus 1. Okay, so here I need to give it. So what about the else condition? I need to do exactly similar to the if condition, but different value, different limit. So let me copy this and let me paste over here. It is also just start from I. So what's the condition? It is 6 minus I, right? So it is 6 minus I. Uh, it will print a space, so it will run 1. It's fine. What's it is 2i minus 8. 2i minus 8. And what's the next condition? It is also 1. It is the last condition is 6 minus I. So it is 6 minus I. Okay, so and after all this I just want to print, right? Yeah, so let me run this code. Yeah, here you will get this pattern. Okay, so this is all about today's video. Maybe in the first time you will find little difficulty following this procedure. Okay, but once you started to follow this procedure, whichever the question you came into, you can solve easily. Okay, so thank you everyone. So see you in the next video.